Bună ziua! Știți că această emisiune este despre creativitate. Creativitate însemnând cum ne deschidem mintea către altfel de situații, către altfel de soluții, către alte feluri de a trăi. În această zi o avem invitată pe o doamnă foarte drăguță, care vine de foarte departe și mă bucur că am reușit să o prindem și să vină astăzi la noi în studio. Și vom vorbi despre felul în care putem fi creativi mâncând. Da, atât e de simplu. Vom vedea ce putem mânca, când putem mânca și în felul acesta cum, de fapt, ne vom putea transforma în a deveni mai conștienți de noi înșine, mai fericiți și, de ce nu, mai deștepți. Că despre asta e vorba în această emisiune, cum ne folosim mintea într-un mod special, din ce în ce mai bine și din ce în ce mai mult. Invitata mea de astăzi este Kaushani Desai. Hi, Kaushani!
Hello, Diana!
Kaushani este specialistă în Ayurveda, în felul de a găti într-un mod ayurvedic și vom vedea astăzi ce înseamnă Ayurveda, ce înseamnă arta de a găti într-un mod ayurvedic și cum ne poate aduce acest fel de a găti și de a mânca mai multă fericire. So, what means Ayurveda?
Ayurveda means a science of life. So, according to Ayurveda, everything in this universe is made out of 5 elements, and everything is based on 5 elements: earth, water, air, ether and fire.
Foarte frumos. But you are specialist in Ayurveda cooking.
Yes.
So what means Ayurveda cooking now?
Ayurveda cooking means cooking with awareness, concentration, love. Mind should be in a good state when we cook food. That is very important. Then when you cook food, you need to decide which all ingredients you are going to use, which all vegetables you are going to use, or grain combination is very important, which all taste you are going to include in your food. And according to that you use spices, you blend the vegetable, spice, grains and make a recipe. So to know this, what is good for you, you need to know yourself. That is, you need to know what is your body type. And if you know that, then you can plan food for you and make a food which is good and give satisfaction to all 5 senses. So when you are satisfied and all 5 senses are satisfied, that is the aim of Ayurvedic cooking, which gives you health and happiness.
Very nice. Kaushani este absolventa unei facultăți de nutriție din India, deci are niște ani în spate de studii, predă cursul de Ayurveda Cooking, de a găti în mod ayurvedic în foarte, foarte multe țări. Chiar o întrebam înainte de emisiune cum a reușit să călătorească în atâtea țări și am să mă uit aici pe foaie că s-a plimbat prin Bahrain, Kuwait, Mauritius, Rusia, Mongolia, Hong Kong, Indonezia, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Etiopia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Polonia, Spania, Slovenia, Italia, Estonia, Bulgaria și așa mai departe, în foarte, foarte multe țări. I said that you're traveling a lot, you imagine. Și peste tot a predat aceste cursuri de a fi mai bine în pielea ta ca om și de a învăța să gătești. Înainte de a intra exact în detaliile de Ayurveda, aș vrea să o întreb câte ceva și despre celelalte cursuri pe care ea le practică. So, Kaushani, you don't teach only Ayurvedic cooking. You have also other classes.
Yes.
So, can you talk just a little bit about them, and after that we continue with Ayurveda?
Sure. So there are many different programs. I work under Art of Living organizations. So there are programs for children from the age group of 8 to 14, Art Excel. Then there is a program for youth from 14 to 17 years. That is called Youth Empowerment Seminar. Then there is a program called Happiness Program, that is 18 and above. age people. So I teach these 3 courses and Ayurvedic cooking course.
Very nice. Deci cum să fim fericiți, iată ce cursuri frumoase. Și mi-a plăcut foarte mult de Kaushani că mi-a spus că ne naștem în lumea asta pentru a înfrumuseța lumea. Și asta mi s-a părut o frază demnă de ținut minte. So we come back on Ayurveda and how we can make more beautiful the world with Ayurveda cooking.
We can make a world more beautiful by being happy, by being peaceful, and good food help us in that. If I am healthy, if I am happy, if I am peaceful, then I can think about doing something for the world, how to make it beautifying. And the creativity born with peace, calmness and happiness. So I think creativity begins with if you eat Ayurvedic food, which helps you to balance your physical and mental state and how to handle your emotional state, and food is connected with all these aspects. What we eat have impact for 3 days on our mind. So if we eat right, we have right mindset. If we eat something which is not specifying to our body or less specifying to our body, it has that kind of impact on our mind. So Ayurveda helps you to balance your mental, emotional, physical state. And when you are balanced, then you can work towards beautifying this world in a better way.
Okay. I was to your class and you start the class saying that there are few very important rules to respect in Ayurveda. Can you tell us about these rules?
I name it like rules. Actually, it's being disciplined in your life, how you keep your lifestyle in your life. But when you say rules, then it has some impact on people's mind and then they want to follow it.
Yes.
So very important is that you follow all the rules together. So first rule is follow all the rules. And then there are different points where what time you should wake up, what time you should have your breakfast, the right time for lunch, for dinner, in the evening if you are hungry, what is good to have at that time, which is easy to digest, what time you should sleep. So this is all about lifestyle. And if you bring little bit change in your own lifestyle, you will see a big change in your life. And that's why without being disciplined, you don't have the right experience. So just to get the experience of this course, what is Ayurvedic food, what is Ayurveda, it's very important for us to have discipline so that mentally and physically we can observe more the changes happening inside us. We can feel this experience of change.
Yes.
And then we can decide in life what to do.
But I remember that you said the first rule is to drink the food and to chew the water.
Yeah, that is very important for good health. That is very important for good health, to eat your water and drink the food. So our body pH is alkaline by nature. So when we drink 1 glass of water in 2 seconds or quickly we drink it, what happens that the water is base by nature, but our stomach have acid which helps us in digestion. So when the water will go to the stomach, will get mixed with the acid, it will turn into acid, which is against the pH of a human body. But when you eat water, that means you take a sip, move it in your mouth and drink it. It will be more beneficial, because when we do any movement of mouth, saliva produces in our mouth. This saliva is alkaline in nature. As I told you, water is base by nature. It is neither acidic nor alkaline. When this water will get mixed with the alkaline, it will become mixed with the saliva. When this water will get mixed with the saliva, it will become alkaline in nature. When it will reach to the stomach, alkaline plus acid is equal to neutral. And that is very good for body. because most of the disease are caused because of excess of acid in the body. So if we just bring a change in how we drink and how we eat, it's much more easy to achieve what is good health. Why to drink food? Because from childhood we have learned drink water and eat food. And at the end we have some or another physical problem or mental challenges. So just by doing the opposite, drinking food means chew the food nicely. Say for example 32 teeth we have, so 32 times if we chew the food, it will become liquid, it will become like nice puree, and then you swallow it. That is drinking it. It will make the digestion very good, because we have teeth only in the mouth, not in the stomach. So if we don't chew food properly in the mouth, in our stomach nothing is there to grind it and make it taste. So the absorption will have a big impact of this, because the digestion is not proper, the absorption is not proper, and these two things have impact on health. So chewing the food nicely and eating it will help us to digest that food 100% easily, and then the absorption will be very good, and then we become healthy, because it makes our immunity.
And other rules, you said that it's very good to sleep
early and wake up early.
Okay, why is this?
So when you sleep early, then only you can wake up early, because we need a good rest period. So during the 24 hours, there are different times when 3 different sets of times are in place. So Vata, Pitta and Kapha, there are 3 natures as per Ayurveda. And these 3 times falls during 24 hours twice.
And
for some time. So if we follow this, sleeping on time, that is sleeping by 10:30, by 11, we can really have a deep sleep. And that rest is very, very, very important for our next day plannings. Because if we are not fresh, if we don't have enough energy, we cannot do things next day properly. Because to do anything nicely, we need energy. And that energy comes from different sources. And sleep is one of the source for good energy, for freshness, which reduces the tiredness, which give you a lot of calmness also, rest also. So when you sleep on time, you wake up on time. When you wake up early in the morning, that is the time when our lungs are very active. So you do some yoga, some breathing exercise, you can go for a walk, you can do some physical exercise. Importance how you breathe deeply. And that makes you more and more physically, mentally strong. And that is very important. Because so our day starts from 7 or 8 when our office work starts. So before that we have time for ourselves to do all these things.
So you start with the hour that we sleep, you continue with the hour we wake up, and you can continue a schedule, a good schedule for a nice day, for a successful day. When to eat, when to rest, when to work eventually, or I don't know, something like this.
Yes, yes. So our breakfast should be light. It should be before 9. Because if we have late breakfast, we'll have late lunch. So if we have our breakfast between 7 to 9, that is something light, which will again give you this hunger feeling at lunchtime. So after that, the lunch time is between 11 to 1:30. And if you had light breakfast, you are hungry to have your lunch. And when you eat out of hunger, hunger is a sign that your body needs food.
Yes, of course.
And most of the time we don't observe this when we eat food. We eat food because of different reasons. Sometimes we eat food because it's time to eat food. Maybe we are not hungry. Sometimes we eat food because other people are eating food, so we just join them, give company to them. Sometimes we eat food because we are tempted to see something which we love to eat. So these are not the real reasons for eating food.
Yes.
The real reason is feel hungry. And out of need, when you do something, it's fruitful.
Yes.
So lunch
But
should
we
be...
like to eat.
Yeah,
This
we
is
like
a
to eat.
big problem.
And this is one of the reason, maybe the connection between our hunger and our need is not there.
Yes.
So there should be the connection between mind and body. So when the body needs, the mind feel like doing it. That is very important.
Yes.
And yoga, meditation, breathing techniques help us to align the body, mind and soul. And when your body and mind is aligned, you will exactly feel like doing something, or you will do something which is needed.
And it's good to listen to your body, not to the body said you something and you said, okay, I will not listen to you today because look, this is a very nice cake in front of me.
Right.
Okay, you said before these three types, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Can you say more about what that means and what is the connection with the body type?
Yes.
And maybe how we must eat?
Yes. So Vata, Pitta and Kapha, there are three constitutions or three natures. Vata, Pitta and Kapha are combination of 5 elements. Vata is combination of air and ether element. Pitta is combination of fire and water element. Kapha is combination of earth and water element. So as per these three constitutions, there are nature of people. So there are 7 types of people. Some are pure, like only Vata constitution, only Pitta constitution, only Kapha constitution, or combination of these 3, like Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha, Vata Kapha, or all 3 in a nature, Vata Pitta Kapha. Now when we talk about constitution, everybody have all 3 in the body. But the ratio differs person to person, and that will decide what is your body type. And to know your body type, you need to visit an Ayurvedic doctor. You need to do pulse diagnosis, which is a technique, a process to read through your pulse the state of mind, the state of your emotions, the state of your body, health, etc., etc. And it's a very holistic approach. Ayurveda is a very holistic approach to heal a person. So science of life maybe is a limited, science has some limitations. Maybe we can say knowledge of life. Knowledge is something vast. So knowledge of life is Ayurveda. So these 3 Vata, Pitta and Kapha constitutions, when you check with doctor, these 3 constitutions, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, it's very easy for you to manage your life, what to eat, to manage your lifestyle, when to wake up, when to sleep, how much to sleep, what all activities you must include in your day-to-day life, in your routine, to gain a good physical and mental health. And many more things. Health is not only a beautiful body or a shiny skin. It's much more than that. So in Ayurveda, in Indian Sanskrit language, health means swasthya.
That means?
Swasthya means being one with yourself.
Oh, how
being
nice.
stable, with being centered. And when you achieve this state, you are healthy. And in this process of achieving this state, you will get everything: beautiful skin, good body, calm mind, etc., etc. So these are not separate things. A combination of everything is a good health. That is swasthya. And as I told you, in a day there are 2 phases of these 3 things, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, 3 constitution. So 2 to 6 is Vata time. That is during daytime, during night time. 6 to 10 is Kapha time. And 10 to 2 is Pitta time. And according to these timings, there is lunch time, there is sleeping time, there is exercise time. And if we follow this routine, this life cycle of nature,
Yes.
we can achieve good health very easily.
But I think that it's very good to describe a little bit what means Pitta, what means Vata, what means Kapha, because for Romanian people it's something completely strange.
So Vata means, as I told you, combination of air and ether.
Yes, but
and
more
Vata
than
people
this.
have some qualities, like they are like air and ether element. How is air? Light and always flowing. You cannot stop air at one place. And these people have these qualities. They are very active, they are very fast. And how these elements have positive effect. All elements have very good positivities. Like that, everything have another side also.
Yes.
So when these elements will increase, then the limit in the body, or decrease, then the limit.
Yes.
Then there will be imbalance in the body. So imbalance of Vata can bring hyperactivity, restlessness, sleeplessness, or lack of concentration, etc. But the positivity about Vata is they are very alert and very spontaneous. So they can bring the solution spontaneously like this. And they are always full of energy and full of liveliness. And never tired, and they can run like air, like no limit. Like that, Pitta people are a combination
Pitta,
of
yes,
fire and water elements. So how fire is? It brings light, it brings heat, and water is with that. So to control that, because fire have one quality of bringing light and another quality is heat. So when it's combination with water, then somehow it's controlled, it's balanced. So Pitta people have the quality that they are very joyous, and they are very intelligent. They have very sharp memory, very sharp mind, very intellectual. But when it's imbalanced, anger is there, frustration is there, irritation is there. They have a power to differentiate between right and wrong, between this Pitta in the body. As I told you, everybody have Vata, Pitta and Kapha in the body. So all these three things have different functions to play inside the body. Like Vata's function is bringing movement in the body. So any movement happens in the body,
like
Vata is responsible for that, like respiration, elimination, circulation, heart beats,
yes,
etc., etc.
And Pitta?
And then Pitta have a function of metabolism, to keep our metabolism good. Then transformation, bringing transformation in yourself as well as in others, or transforming food into nutrient which body can absorb. These are the example of transformation.
Yes.
And they have the power of discrimination, as I told you. They have very sharp this power of discrimination. Like that Kapha, separation. Like that Kapha is combination of earth and water element. So they have the qualities of earth and water, like stability, then deepness, calmness is in them. So they are very strong and calm people when they are balanced. And the imbalance brings dullness or laziness or inertia, etc. Sleeping too much.
Yes.
So the function of Kapha inside the body is, Kapha is responsible for growth. And I think in childhood, when a child borns, maximum they do is sleeping. And if the child sleeps more, the growth is good. And if the child is crying more and not sleeping enough, it has effect on the growth also.
Yes.
You see the growth is not better. Something is lacking. And then protection is one of the function of Kapha. So it protects our body as immunity, as the skin protects the body. These are the example of protection. Lubrication, then solid. These are the functions of keeping you stable, your energy stable.
Okay, I understand. And I hope that our people who look at us now, they understand also about these three types of bodies. And now I will say in Romania, aș vrea să vedem niște imagini cu invitata noastră, Kaushani Desai, specialist în Ayurveda, să o vedem puțin gătind și după aceea să mergem mai departe. Vreau acum să dăm de data aceasta mai mult timp exercițiului de creativitate și vedem la sfârșit cât timp ne mai rămâne să continuăm această discuție interesantă despre cum să mâncăm astfel încât să fim mai fericiți și mai creativi și, bineînțeles, mai sănătoși. Vorbim cu invitata noastră, cu Kaushani Desai. Am întrebat-o înainte de emisiune ce fel de exerciții de creativitate propune și pentru că nu are cum în acest studio să gătească și să ne arate o rețetă clară, ceea ce ar fi fost foarte interesant, atunci mi-a propus să vă arătăm niște mudre și o să vorbim despre asta și o să arătăm atât niște imagini la cameră, cât și vom încerca amândouă să facem aceste mudre și să vedem care sunt beneficiile. We start now with the creativity exercise, and we discussed together before to show some mudras.
Yeah.
So first of all, what means mudras?
Mudras are a gesture where through 5 fingers you do some gestures. That is called mudra. And 5 fingers, as I told you, everything is based on 5 elements in Ayurveda. And these 5 fingers are connected to 5 elements. So thumb represents fire element. Like that first finger represents air element. The middle finger represents ether element, connected to ether element. Ring finger is connected to earth element, and little finger is connected to water element. So when we do mudra, we touch the tip of a particular finger to the root of the thumb, which is fire element, and do different mudras. In some mudras, we touch tip of the thumb and tip of the finger and do mudras. And each and every mudras, as you see in this picture, these 5 elements and 5 tattvas are connected.
Okay.
5 fingers and 5 elements are connected. And doing this mudras, can we have the second?
Ok, putem să schimbăm imaginea. Deci în prima imagine am văzut degetele asociate fiecărui tip de element, iar acum pe rând vom arăta fiecare mudră alese de Kaushani și vom explica pe rând fiecare mudră în parte, cum se face și ce beneficii are această mudră. Deci avem acum Kaushani, we talk about the mudra.
Yeah. This is Pran Mudra.
Pran Mudra.
Where you touch the tip of the thumb with the tip of the ring finger and little finger.
Okay.
And you sit like this.
With both hands?
With both hands.
Okay. And we keep in a position that is relaxing.
Yeah.
We can sit like this. It's not necessary to stay.
You need to sit relaxed, like both legs together.
Yes. Like this.
And then keep on your knees both of your hands.
Okay. And what is the name of this mudra?
Pran Mudra.
Pran Mudra. And the benefit is?
It increases immunity.
Ok, deci crește imunitatea dacă ținem mâinile așa, într-o poziție relaxată. How much time?
You can do this for 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
Twice a day, once a day.
Okay.
With some deep breath. Close your eyes and concentrate on your breath. And take some deep breath in and out. This is the best way to do mudras.
Okay. Good, very nice. So we can continue with other mudras. So dacă putem să schimbăm imaginea, să trecem la următoarea mudră, da?
This is Gyan Mudra.
Gyan Mudra.
So where you touch the tip of the thumb and tip of the first finger.
Yes. Like
and then other finger straight, and then you sit.
Okay. And we stay like this, relax, breathing nicely.
Yes.
How many time?
You can do this also 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. So
for all the mudra, 15-20 minutes, 2 times a day?
Yeah.
It's enough to change
2 times, 3 times every day. If you do, you can see benefits of these mudras.
Okay, so just a simple position of the hand, change all
helps you to balance these 5 elements inside the body. But we need to be careful when we do this mudra that we don't fall asleep and change the position of the mudra something else, and then we are expecting some benefit which is not seem to be there because maybe our mudra position have changed from this to this or something like that.
So we must take care to make
you need to be awake when you do this mudra, not go into sleep because your eyes are closed and you are relaxed, and pay attention on this what you are doing with some breathing helps you.
Okay, good. So the third mudra, maybe we can change the next image to show the next mudra. Să schimbăm imaginea să vedem cealaltă mudra.
So here it's written how to do it, time duration, as it is mudra of knowledge. So it enhances the knowledge, the tip of first finger and thumb. Pituitary and endocrine glands are active. When we press these centers by index finger, the 2 glands work actively. And that is the benefit of this mudra. And that's why in most of the meditation people sit like this, or when you are getting some knowledge, or when you are like doing something very important like giving interview or listening the knowledge, if you sit like this there will be a different experience also.
Okay. Third example
is Apan Mudra.
So how we stay with the finger?
Thumb, tip and the middle 2 fingers tip. That is ring finger and middle finger. And then you sit like this.
Okay, relax and breathing. Yes?
Next
and this second, următoarea pagină, vă rugăm frumos. Așa, da. Deci vedem la ce este bună această mudra. What are the benefits of this mudra?
It helps us to important role in our health is to regulate the excretory system.
Okay.
Next page.
Okay.
This you can do like 5 to 45 minutes.
5 to 45. Okay. And if we have a problem with our system, our stomach, it will be solved.
Very good.
Okay. Now the next mudra.
This is Neo Mudra. So how you touched here, now you keep your fingers here.
Okay.
And relax. Other finger straight.
Okay.
So from where this thumb starts, when you fold your hand, where your finger comes, you have to keep your fingers there. Another finger straight.
Okay. And we keep this finger straight, yes?
Straight.
Okay.
If it is not, you cannot keep your finger straight, doesn't matter. No need to feel why I cannot keep it straight. When you practice this mudra, slowly, 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 you can keep your fingers straight. No problem.
This is good for blood pressure?
This mudra is very effective in regulating blood pressure. High or low, both. In either case, it helps.
Okay.
And regular practice of this mudra will regulate and bring the blood pressure back to normal.
Okay.
So you can do this every day, 15 to 45 minutes in your regular lifestyle. Sometimes we travel in train, we travel in flights or buses, and we cannot do anything when we travel.
And it's good
that
to make
time we can do
right
this
time
mudras.
To make mudras, yes. And the next example, now this is hand mudra.
Again, pran mudra is there.
Pran mudra, yes.
And pran mudra, which I showed you in the beginning.
Yes.
Which increases immunity.
Okay.
This mudra of life, it improves the power of life. Weak people become strong. It reduces the clumps in blood vessel. If we practice it regularly, we will become active, and it increases, even it will balance the deficiency of vitamins in body. And overall, it builds a good immunity. It increases immunity power.
And we make with both hands?
Both hands.
Okay.
So when you are feeling low energy, you feel my energy is not enough to do my work, practicing this mudra every day. Practicing this mudra every day helps you a lot.
Ok. Now we go further. Dacă schimbăm imaginea să vedem următoarea mudră, am văzut-o pe asta.
There is one more mudra which I would like to share with you. So many people have back pain.
There are the most important mudra that help us to
reduce back pain.
Okay.
Because maybe we are sitting in a wrong posture. Wrong posture means when we sit on a chair, most probably we sit like this.
Okay.
When the back is curved, not straight, the tailbone.
Yes.
Which is the root of the spine. Maybe we are watching TV, or when we are relaxing, most of the time we prefer to sit like this.
Yes.
Now
which is
this
not good.
is a wrong posture. So when we sit on a chair, first we should touch the lower back part to the this part of the chair.
Yes.
And then if you sit without any effort, you can sit straight for longer period. So when we have back pain because we are standing in a wrong position, or because we lift something very heavy, or done something which have affected the back, there is a very good mudra. If we do it for 15-20 minutes, it really helps us to reduce the pain in back.
Okay.
I would like you to do this mudra with me.
Tell me how to do it.
So touch the tip of the thumb with the tip of the middle finger.
Like the middle finger is this one.
Middle finger. This one. Yes.
Okay.
And tip of the little finger.
Like this?
Yes. Very good. So when you touch, so this you have to do only with right hand, and left hand you keep in the Gyan mudra.
Like this.
Yes. So when you sit like this and then relax your hand.
Okay.
So left hand is Gyan mudra, and right hand will be touching the tip of 3 fingers, that is thumb, middle finger and little finger, and sit like this.
Okay.
And in 15-20 minutes the pain will start reducing.
It's only the back pain, or it's also other pains?
Back pain.
Back pain. Okay. Very, very good. Okay, so for today we have some mudras, yes, and we show to the people exactly how they have, let me say in Romania, Deci, dragii mei, pentru astăzi, exercițiul de creativitate sugerat de invitata noastră de astăzi, Kaushani, au fost câteva poziții ale mâinilor pe care, dacă le ținem într-un anumit fel, timp de 15, uneori chiar și 45 de minute, de mai multe ori pe zi, scăpăm de anumite probleme de sănătate, ne trece durerea de spate, a fost o mudră în care ne reglam presiunea sângelui, foarte bună în călătorii, și vă recomand să încercați aceste mudre și să ne scrieți și să ne spuneți cum v-au îmbunătățit starea de sănătate. Și acum să ne întoarcem la tema de astăzi. După cum vă spuneam, Kaushani are foarte multe cursuri care toate se bazează pe a fi mai creativ, pe a ne deschide mintea și spre a înfrumuseța planeta asta pe care am venit să trăim. Dar astăzi am chemat-o în mod special pentru Ayurveda, pentru faptul că ea este în România acum și predă, va pleca foarte curând, dar cât va sta aici, va preda un curs de bucătărie ayurvedică. So, we come back now to Ayurvedic cooking. And I remember that you said to the class, at the class, that there are 3 types of state of mind, that means connected with 3 types of food. So can you talk about this, and we finish with this subject, our show?
Okay. So 3 gunas are there in Ayurveda: Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And all 3 gunas have different quality. Sattva means cleanliness, effectiveness, positivity, happiness, knowledge, brightness. All these positive qualities together will be sattva. And sattvic food have some qualities or some role to play in the body. Sattvic food is light, rich in prana, that is rich in life force, full of life, and pure. So when we eat sattvic food, it helps us to purify the body and calm the mind. It helps us to make our immunity strong, to make our body strong, our cells, tissue will be a good quality. And there are things which are sattvic food in this category: fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, grains, millets, beans and pulses, nuts and seeds, dry fruits, spices like cardamom, cinnamon, turmeric, saffron, mint, coriander, all these spices, herbs. Like that, Rajas is another guna, quality of mind. Rajas means when there is Rajas in the body, its role in the body is to help the mind and body to stimulate into action. But when it is in excess, when it's too much in the body, it can bring sleeplessness, then hyperactivity, restlessness, anger, irritation. And Rajas can make a human being workaholic. So they work too much and with 2 emotions, that is my, attachment and aversion. And these 2 emotions can make this whole guna little more on the negative side. So how to change this? Because if I only think about myself, I will forget about this world, then I can't be more sensitive also. So Rajasic food have impact on this Vata and Pitta. It increases both. And there are food like too much fried food or meat like animal products comes in this category. Fermented food, refined food like sugar and all. Like that, Tamas is 3rd guna, which born out of lack of knowledge. So people very angry, very excited, stubborn, all these negative qualities you may see in them. And it brings more dullness and mental inertia in people. It increases the level of toxins. And food comes in this is again meat and meat product, alcohol, white sugar, white flour, etc.
Okay, very nice. So, thank you very much, Kaushani. Te mai așteptăm și altă dată. Sperăm ca de câte ori vine în România să ne viziteze, pentru că această temă este foarte largă și foarte multe sunt de spus în cadrul acestei teme. Așa că, so promise us that you will come next time when you will be in Romania and we continue this very interesting discussion.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kaushani.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you, me too. Suntem din nou la un cuvânt pe săptămână. De data aceasta am ales o categorie de cuvinte. Eu le numesc cuvinte drastice. Le numesc așa pentru că sunt cuvintele în care parcă nu-ți lasă loc de întors. Sunt cuvintele care sunt așa ca și cum cineva ar bate cu pumnul în masă atunci când le spun și sunt cuvinte care ne deranjează foarte tare, dar pe de altă parte pot avea și o conotație foarte pozitivă atunci când ele sunt folosite în fraze sau în propoziții pozitive. Și o să vă spun despre ce este vorba. Sunt cuvinte ca trebuie, niciodată, întotdeauna sau de fiecare dată, sigur, nimic, imposibil, obligatoriu, totul, imperativul sau ordinele, condiționarea, dacă, condiționalul optativ, nu, nici, nici o, a alege. Aceste cuvinte le-am băgat toate într-o categorie pentru că aceste cuvinte, așa cum vă spuneam, sunt foarte, foarte hotărâte. Când le folosim în fraze afirmative, atunci ele au putere de a întări afirmația pe care am făcut-o și a ne conduce către materializarea ei, iar când sunt folosite în fraze sau în propoziții negative, atunci întăresc aceeași afirmație pe care am făcut-o și am să dau doar un singur exemplu. Una este să spun întotdeauna ajung la timp, atunci are o conotație foarte bună și o frază care mă ajută, sau întotdeauna întârzi, este o frază la fel de hotărâtă și vă dați seama că devine foarte negativă. Mai multe despre cuvintele drastice în altă emisiune. Vă mulțumesc!